What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Hold up 1 second, baby. Why are you standing so far away from me? Come closer. Let daddy whisper in your ear something sweet. All right, that's better. Looking good there, honey. But, excuse me. That's me and my mic. You know, we got something going on. Not like a Lando Calrissian type of thing, all right? I'm just saying, you know, if I don't look good, she don't look good. If she don't look good, I don't look good. But anyway, you see the thumbnail. Let's talk about it, okay? But first, let me ask you guys a question. The question is, why do you think it is that Hollywood and pop culture is so saturated with the idea of changing traditionally white characters into black characters? Why is that? Now, I know a lot of you probably have some ideas about why that's going on, and I'm sure a lot of them are valid. But I got one more that I want to put on your mind, because I think it's something we should all be vocal about, because we're not a bunch of hypocrites here. When we say that we want like originality, that's something that we really mean. So, for example, the question is always, well, why can't those people create original characters? Why can't anybody create original characters? If you want to have diversity and inclusion, why not create some instead of hijacking what is traditionally something else? Well, I want to point you guys to something here, all right? I want to show you something that's been going on. Actually, it's been going on for a while, but the question I want to ask here, and I want to call your attention to, is the situation with Eric July, aka Young Ripper. A lot of you guys are familiar with him. If you're not, Young Ripper is a young man who is doing big things. He's a musician, a singer, a writer, a businessman, and now he's a comic book publisher and writer. And he's got a lot of people in his employ. This is something he's doing, Rippaverse, and it blew up really, really big time. It's got a lot of support in the fandom, and he happens to be a black man. So that makes what he's doing, it's history. It really, really is. The strides that he's making and everything like that. And once again, what he is doing is he's bringing original stories with original characters, and he is trying to push back on what's been going on, unfortunately, in the comic book industry all too often, where we see a lot of that virtue signaling thing going on. It seems like they've been hijacked by this agenda where you want to be as progressive as possible to the expense of the actual story. So, in other words, if you're tired of political messaging being put into your comics to the point where it overpowers it, then you want to start looking at independent creators. Eric July is one of them. And like I said, he happens to be black. So it seems like he satisfies that criticism of why can't people create their own. He is creating his own. Whether you like it or not is fair game. If people have bought the product or looked at the product and they don't like it, there's no problem with that. You know, you have that right. Everything can't be for everybody after all. But what I've been seeing for at least a year, probably longer than that, are people attacking this man unnecessarily, leveling all types of criticisms and accusations against him designed to smear his reputation and his name, and they've gotten his personal life involved and things like that. Like, they've gone way, way overboard. And the thing about it to me is that the question I'm asking is, can we see, because these people are actually proving it in real time, can we see the reasons why major studios and motion pictures and things like that are hesitant to actually encourage the cultivation of new original characters? Because if this is what we're showing them as a fandom, that when you have somebody or people who are trying to create something new and original, the fandom eats itself. The fandom attacks it. Like I said, it's one thing to have an opinion about something. You can have an opinion about it. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. If you think it's meh, then it's meh. After all, that's what this whole fandom is founded upon, the right to like or to not like something. So what kind of hypocrites would we be if somebody came and said, just because I made it now, you can't like it? That's not what this is all about. But unfortunately, we have people who are going above and beyond to attack this man in an attempt to break this man, to smear this man in the eyes of potential customers. That's what we have going on here. So every day I have to go onto Twitter and I have to see people attacking him, attacking his product, showing up to his place of business, trying to act like there's nothing wrong with that, like there's nothing creepy about that, like there's nothing bitch made about that. But it is. You know, it is. Like, since when in this fandom did we do some dumb shit like that? Like, we've all been very critical about what's going on with Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel and DC. You show me one video where any of us have actually gone to Marvel headquarters or Disney headquarters or DC headquarters and attempted to intimidate or vandalize or imply or do some other dumbass grandstanding. When does that happen? But we want to try to act like, well, I don't know if that's actually breaking the law. You know, you got this lawyer dude, Rakita, coming out talking about, yeah, I'm not sure about that. That is the most passive aggressive attack I've ever seen. You know, you're trying to act like, I want you to make tons of money. Bullshit. You don't do stuff like this. You don't say stuff like this. You don't express yourself the way that the man expresses himself. Throwing the word nigga all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know this is something that I've heard Ripper do. He uses the word nigga too. I've heard it before. And this goes to a point that I've always made. Obviously, we are leaders in that. If it's a racial slur against us, if it was a racial slur against somebody else, they would be leaders in how to receive that and process that. So my individual opinion is that nobody should use the word unless you're using it as a reference, you know, like how I'm using it. I will never direct that to somebody, but I'm not somebody who's going to say, oh, it's the N-word, you know what I mean? Because we all know what it is. Let's be honest about it. We're all grown here. But the point about it is, guys, is that you've got this attack that's been going on nonstop. And it just makes me wonder, when big studios see stuff like this and they look at the fandom, could you blame them for saying, this is not a good investment? It's not a good investment to invest in original characters or independent creators, because look at what happens. You know, look at what it brings with them. It's a lot of trouble. So why not just turn Superman black? He's already Superman. He's already got a fan base. And we'll tell people that they're racist if they have a problem with it. But why? Why would you invest in a new character when you see stuff like this is what's going on? You know what I mean? And that's how I'm feeling about it, guys. That's what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing you give a man who's trying to do exactly what we've been talking about all of these years, come up with an original character, come up with original stories. But this is what's happening. You know what I mean? He happens to be black, but in all fairness, I've seen other independent creators go through something like this. Uncle E, Ethan Van Sciver, I've seen him go through a lot too as an independent creator, where people just push back on him unnecessarily. All of these people have to be grifters. Instead of just letting them sell their product, letting them do what they got to do. Either it's going to succeed or it's going to fail. But all of that extra stuff that you do, running up to the man's place of business, making videos, calling him out of his name, making memes that liken him to George Floyd, and making Rakita look like what's his name? Derek Shaver, whatever his name is. Is it Derek Shaver? Chauvin? Whatever it is. I know there was a Chauvin, Sheevan. I don't know. But anyway, that's what they do. You know, you see the thumbnail. I tried to put a few of those images in there. Why? Why the extra hate? What is that about? You can't stand to see the man making some money? Now, of course, you guys see over my shoulder here, you know, I am a supporter, you know, of ISOM because I want to be on the right side of history. I did a video like this before where I talked about that. I want to support this. And I know a lot of people do, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right. But time will tell whether or not this is going to blow up, you know, whether it's going to deliver the goods. But people are just saying we're willing to have an open mind, which is what you should have. So it's not about who's critical of the actual work. But guys, you got to stand back and stop being some goddamn hypocrites. It's like the rest of us need to be speaking up about this because these people are representing us in the eyes of the industry. Like I said before, the industry is paying attention to shit like this. So when they see us eating our own and we're not being vocal about this, we're laughing about this, we're joining in on this, this is the reason why we can't get original characters and we can't get independent creators with independent visions into the industry. This is why we have a hard time doing that. So when you see these movies that come out and you're like, oh my God, another race swap. Well, we did it to ourselves. People like this, we allowed to run rampant without pushing back on it. And that's the reason why I'm doing this video. It's not to be sticking up or trying to protect or defend Eric July. That man is more than capable of protecting himself. Although, I will say to Eric July, you are a creator, and I wish that you would do just that. I don't want to see you get sidetracked because you are making history, my friend. We've shared a stage a couple of times, a panel. I have a great deal of respect for you, man. And I feel like you should be really concentrating on making the history. And I've told you this. You should be concentrating on making the history that you're making. Leave these people alone. And I would tell my own son this, and I do tell him this every day. When you're making your strides and you're running a race and you're about to go over that finish line, do you stop to address the hecklers on the side who don't want you to win? Then everybody else runs past you? No, you just keep on going. You keep on going and you win that race. And that's the way you win at life, But that's what I want to see, guys. I'm tired of what I see on Twitter, all of this passive-aggressive nonsense. You got a Rippaverse goalpost on Twitter where they highlight his haters. And I said when that whole Twitter page started, I remember saying in the comment section, this is some bullshit. Why would you highlight what haters say? Why would you do that? Everybody's like, well, we're mocking them. No, you're not mocking them. You're giving them a platform. And we see what that has turned into. Now, I know I highlight a lot of the negative comments that I get in my comment section. But see, that's something that I do personally with the intent of making them look stupid. I always have the last word, okay? I'm not just going to put some shit out there where people are disrespecting me and say, hey, look at what this person said to me. Look at it. No, I make them look stupid, and it's my personal response that you get to it. I don't have somebody claiming to be defending me on Twitter by highlighting what my enemies are saying. That's some bullshit, bro. You don't do that, So I wish if you really support what the man is doing, or at least you support his ability to be what he's doing, for him to do what he's doing, his right to be doing it. I wish that we get a little bit smarter about this, because from what I can see, this man is surrounded by sharks right now, absolute sharks, who are trying to act like they're in his corner. They're trying to act like they want him to win, but in reality, they're not. I looked at that stream, that he was on with the lawyer guy and everything like that. Bro, whatever happened to talking to somebody behind the scenes? Whatever happened to getting in their DMs? If you really feel the dude is saying something he shouldn't be saying, then you could get at him that way. You don't do that on a live stream in front of everybody. To me, that's why I said that's some passive-aggressive, hostile shit. You know what I mean? That's some snake in the grass, throwing rocks and hiding my hands type shit. I do not respect that. But this is just what I'm seeing. And if I'm seeing it, I know that the industry sees it as well. And like I said, that's why the industry does what they do. So we have ourselves to thank for that. And I want everyone to understand that. Everyone should be talking about this who has wondered why we can't get original characters from independent creators or why we don't encourage that. Everyone should have something to say about this, because this is what we've been talking about for years. So when somebody does it and you see this person be systematically beat down, if this is what we stand for, everybody should be like, yo, that's foul. No, this shouldn't be happening. You need to sit your ass down. Shut up. Leave that man alone. Let him cook, so to speak. And if you feel like you have something better to offer, then you offer that. You offer that competition that way. But all of this bitch-made shit, standing in front of somebody's place of business and all of that bullshit, bro, yo, that's some bitch shit, bro. It just really, really is. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. I feel like I needed to give that, because after all, I see it on my Twitter page all the time. To me, the shit's not funny, and I find humor in everything. But to me, it's just more symbolic of the reasons why we're in the situation that we're in now. You're killing the very market that we've been championing for all of these years by giving these people a hard time when they are trying to create original characters, so that we might see less of this race swap bullshit. You know what I mean? But this is what's going on, guys. So if that made any sense to you whatsoever, just me blowing off some steam, get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this. As always, guys, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. Thank you for your attention. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.